this year. But before we do, I want us to look at one word. I want us to look at that word instruction. Because instructions, they're kind of like commands. If you're in the army, your instructions are orders, and you do what you're ordered to do. And you follow exactly what they tell you to do. So let us be like that, because this is the army of the Lord. Amen? This is the Lord's army. And in the Lord's army, He gives us orders, He gives us commands, and we follow them through perfectly as He ordered. Just as they built the tent or the tabernacle according to everything the Lord said, we are to do the same thing. He gives us an order, He gives us a command, He gives us instructions. We are to obey them exactly as He tells them to us. Proverbs chapter 4, verses 20 to 22 says, "My son, pay attention to my words and be willing to learn. Open your ears to my sayings. Do not let them escape from your sight. Keep them in the center of your heart, for they are life to those who find them, and healing to all their flesh." The very first thing the thing that I want to point out, that the writer of Proverbs says, listen and pay attention. Be wise and do what I tell you, exactly as I've given it to you. These words, we know that the Bible tells us that every word in the Bible is God-breathed. So everything in the Bible is a command, is instruction from God. And so it says, pay attention to my words and be willing to learn. Be willing to learn. So are we willing to learn today to continue to go deeper into Him? Are we willing to learn today to continue and to fulfill His commands in everything that He asks us to do? Luke 11, 9 and 10 tells us, "So I say to you, ask and keep on asking, and it will be given to you. Seek and keep on seeking, and you will find. Knock and keep on knocking, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who keeps on asking persistently receives. And he who keeps on seeking persistently finds. And to him who keeps on knocking persistently, the door will be opened." Now we know that whenever the Lord repeats a word, He's trying to get something across to us, right? That word persistently. It means don't just knock and walk away and then come back a little bit later. It means stay there and knock. Keep knocking, keep asking, keep seeking. Don't stop, don't give up. Keep pressing until you receive what the Lord has promised you. Keep pressing until you hear from the Lord. Keep pressing until you find your answer. Because the Lord is faithful. When we are persistent in our seeking of Him, He will be persistent in our blessings, in the overflow of His Spirit, in the miracles, in the manifestations in our lives. So be persistent. Don't stop. Because as soon as you stop, the Lord starts waiting on you. Many of us say, "Oh, I'm waiting on the Lord to move in my life." Did you know that the Lord is waiting on you to ask, to knock, to seek? He's a gentleman. He's not going to force Himself on you. He's so much of a gentleman that He will wait until you give Him permission to move in your life, to move. Did you know that most believers give up before the end because they don't see results? They don't see results in a month. They don't see results in 6 months, in a year, 2 years. So they stop seeking. They stop knocking. They just give up.